What's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I got a 2013 BMW 335i with the N55 motor. So this car came in with oil temperature gauge stuck at 0. So even if the car is warmed up, the gauge won't move. And the car is on limp mode. So we're gonna go ahead and diagnose it, see what's going on, and get to fixing it. Let's get started. Alright, so first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and scan the car and see if we have any complaints about the oil temperature gauge. Alright, so I don't have anything related to the oil temperature sensor, but I got a thermostat code, map thermostat jammed opened, and I got another interesting code right here. Instrument cluster. Signal data drivetrain 2, invalid. Transmitter DME, DDE, EDME. So we have an invalid signal coming from somewhere. And it's a permanent code too, so. Alright, next step is I'm gonna go ahead and go into live data. And then I'm gonna go into the hidden menu on the cluster, and I'm gonna compare my oil temperature, my coolant temperature from the scanner to the cluster. Alright, so to get to the hidden menu, you're gonna press and hold the trip button and then put the car on second position. And you're gonna hold it for a few seconds and let go. Then once you let go, you'll see this menu right here. We're gonna go down to unlock. We're gonna press and hold it. And then it's gonna ask you for a code, and the code is the last 5 digits of your VIN number. You're gonna add them together, and whatever number you got, I got 23. That's what you're gonna put on the code right here. So we're gonna go to 23. Then once you're on 23, you're gonna press and hold it. And then from there on, I'm gonna go ahead and go to temperature, press and hold it. And then I got oil temperature, which is plus 35. Oh, coolant temperature minus 128. Huh. That's probably one of the reasons why we got that data code. So I'm gonna go ahead and go on my scanner, find these two temperature gauges and compare these two together. Alright, so I got engine oil temperature and coolant temperature displayed, and they're both reading it. So I have coolant temperature on my scanner and I have engine oil temperature on my scanner. But I'm looking right here, I have oil temperature but I don't have coolant temperature. So this basically means that the engine computer is receiving the correct data from the sensors, and the sensors are functioning, because if I start the car and let it run for a few minutes, like these two temperatures will rise up. You see, it's rising up. It's slow, but it's getting there. Okay. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna quick erase. And I'm gonna erase everything in there. I already took pictures of the code, so I have records of it. But I'm gonna go ahead and erase everything and see if I can get the gauge back working again. Alright, so it erased everything, so there's one code left, but that's something else not related. So let's give it a start and see if we can get our gauge back. Alright, so we got our coolant temperature back, and we'll give it a few minutes, see if our oil temperature is gonna move at all. So I'll bring you guys back in a few. So this pretty much matches 54 for the coolant, and 49, I mean it's 50 now, so these two match. So we'll see if the gauge for the oil temperature will start working. Alright, so about 10 minutes in, our temperature gauge started moving, and our temperatures are good here too. So I think what was happening is the thermostat, being bad, stock open, was setting a code which was causing the coolant temperature to go to a minus reading, and that was pretty much freaking out the oil temperature gauge. And the minus reading is one of the reasons why we got the signal data code. So I'm gonna go ahead and order a new thermostat for it, and we're gonna go ahead and take care of the thermostat. Alright, so we're gonna start with raising the car up, taking some covers off. Alright, so I'm not gonna do this old-fashioned way where we're gonna have to remove the fan, remove this ducting. There's some hose underneath it that the fan is heating, so you gotta remove that. It's a plastic hose. It's right there, the green right there. So we're gonna do none of that. What we're going to do is we're gonna remove the charge pipe. So see that right there? We're gonna go ahead and undo this, then move it to the side, and then we're gonna do the same thing from the bottom. Gonna get that pipe out, and then we should have plenty of room to do this without removing anything else. Alright, make sure when you remove this, it's out and away from the hole, so it doesn't have a chance of dropping back in. Alright, we're gonna do the same thing to the bottom one. Alright, I got a long 1/4 inch with a 6mm on it. I'm gonna go ahead and get that one right there. Alright, next I'm gonna go ahead and release the one from the radiator side, and then we're gonna unplug the thermostat. We're gonna use a long pick. Alright, so we have one last hose connected to it, which we're gonna remove from the bottom, but from here you can get a pretty good grip on the thermostat and just pretty much get it out. Alright, we're completely disconnected. Alright, so at this point you should have enough room to bring it down here. And basically remove this last hose from here. Alright, so for the installation, we're gonna do the exact same thing. I'm gonna plug this in, Go back in. Then from the top, we'll go ahead and put it on the radiator and assemble all our hoses. So from here, I'm gonna put it back on the radiator. Make sure it snaps. Connect the other hose. So for the clamp on the smaller hose, the big one is here, it's easy. The smaller one, you can actually reach it from here. You can grab it and position it the way you want. And basically put it on exactly the same way we took out with the long 1/4 inch extension. So I can clearly hold it so there's enough space. All right, so we got that hose on. We got one more left. All right, we just got the plug left. Let's put the plug back on, and then we'll put some coolant and bleed the system. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and fill it up with coolant. We'll bleed the system, and then we'll pressure test it after we bleed it. All right, so our coolant is full. I'm gonna close the bleeder cap, and then we're gonna hop in and start the bleeding process. For the bleeding process, you can pretty much leave the cap off. All right, so to bleed, this is it's gonna take a little time. So if your battery is weak, put a tender or a charger on it. But otherwise, we're just gonna go to position 2. We're gonna put the temperature to all the way up and have the fan on low. Then we're gonna press and hold the gas pedal for 10 seconds. And then you should hear the pump go. Then here, you should see it bleeding. You should see circulation here. So, just gonna let it do its thing for, I think it's gonna take about 11 minutes. All right, so our bleeding is done. I'm gonna go ahead and top off the fluid just a little bit. And then I'm gonna set up for a pressure test. All right, so I got the adapter on. I'm gonna pump it to 15 psi, and we're just gonna leave it for 15 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm gonna raise the car up and check for leaks. All right, so 15 minutes later, our pressure is still good. I looked underneath, there's no leaks anywhere, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the charge pipe back, put the covers back on, and we're gonna go for a test drive. All right, so I got my gauges pulled up. I got my scanner set, so we're gonna start driving. And meanwhile, we're gonna keep an eye on the gauge, see what's gonna happen. All right, so I'm back from my drive. It was about an 8 to 10 mile drive. And our temperature for the oil and the coolant are exactly where they need to be. and our temperature gauge for the oil is functioning properly now. So we're all set here. If you found this helpful, please hit the like and the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Peace.